Hi, everybody. I am Andra Annette, and welcome to this week's session of Building Community. And today I have a special guest with me, Megan Claire. You are going to love her. So she does the Aunt Nae Nae Show, okay, which is for kids, but she does have a bachelor's degree in theater. She's currently in Alabama, but she was in New York. She did TV, she did Broadway, off-Broadway films. And now about a year ago, she started a YouTube channel and she's doing an educational show for kids. I was watching it before, I was laughing. It's got education, some jokes, and just the good, clean fun for kids. So please welcome my guest. Hi.
Hey, Andra, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So what got you into doing this show? What made you decide to do a show for kids?
I always knew that I liked kids and then I liked working with kids. But then when my nephew was born, I became an aunt for the first time. And then when he started to learn how to talk, he called me Aunt Nae Nae because I guess he couldn't say Megan at the time. And so somebody was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Aunt Nae Nae." And so anyway, he's 7 years old now and he lives in a different state. So we talk on FaceTime a lot. And one day I started playing this game called the Aunt Nae Nae Show game. And I would just be like, "It's the Aunt Nae Nae Show. Hey." And I would start like saying silly stuff and doing funny things and I was just playing with my nephew on FaceTime. And so then a week later, he calls me again and he's like, "Aunt Nae Nae, do the Aunt Nae Nae Show again." And I was like, "Okay." And then we kept doing that on FaceTime for for several weeks. And then a couple months later, I had the idea, hey, maybe I could turn this into a real thing and make a real show out of this. And I thought, well, hey, I know all these silly songs that I used to sing at Girl Scout camp growing up. And so I thought, why don't I sing one of those silly songs and make a video of it and put it on YouTube and see what happens? And so that's what I did. And I called it the Aunt Nae Nae Show. And then I thought, well, this is fun. I was just doing it for fun. And I made some more videos like that. And then one day, one of the videos all of a sudden got 54,000 views. And I don't know how it happened, but it just did. But I was like, well, this is nice. I got to figure out what happened with that video and make it happen to all the other ones from now on. But anyway, so I started doing it because of my nephew, and I'm doing it. My goal is to educate and entertain children ages 8 and under, and I just want to make kids happy, and that doing all that makes me happy, so it's a win-win.
Very funny. I think it's I think a lot of adults will get a kick out of it too. I do work with disadvantaged children on the weekend, and I watch a lot like ABC.com with a lot of them are bedbound on vents and trachs and stuff like that. So they need
Mm.
that stimulation. The vents are portable, so I can take them out, but for a lot of the day they're in bed watching things like that. So I find it
Oh.
very helpful that people are out there doing things like this for kids. And I thought it was very comical. I was watching you. You also have some theater things there.
Yeah.
I saw that. So that's good. So what are your hopes for the future for the channel?
I hope to, first of all, the main goal is to entertain kids and make them happy, like I said. But for the practical goal, I'd say to get enough views and get enough subscribers so that I can start making a modest amount of, like, monetize the videos so I can start making a modest living from the Aunt Nae Nae Show because I don't have a day job right now. This is my job basically, even though I'm not getting paid for it yet. But I hope to get paid for it eventually. And then the long-term goal, like the big dream, would be to have a show on a network like PBS, like the Mr. Rogers Show or the Sesame Street.
Okay.
But
Those are good
for
goals.
the short term goal, I'm working with a producer now, so we're getting into season 2, and we're gonna be bringing on special guests sometimes. Like for one of the episodes, I'll give you a hint or a sneak peek. I mean, I'm gonna have a woman who is a financial advisor. Hear me out. She's gonna be talking and teaching kids about money, like this is a quarter and a quarter makes four quarters make a dollar, things like that. And so we're going to have her as a guest, and she's our first guest that we haven't recorded the episode yet, but we already got her booked as a guest. And sometimes I do destinations, like I go places and I just film it and talk about what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. Like we did Aunt Nae Nae Goes to New York City, and we did one called Aunt Nae Nae Goes to the Beach, or Aunt Nae Nae Goes to Central Park, and things like that.
Okay, well that's cool. I think it's exciting that you're trying new things. I mean, you're young still, but have you considered maybe getting people to partner with you? Like some people will pay you to advertise
Yes.
there on your channel, like credit card companies and things like that, where you say their name in the segment. Like this segment is brought to you by American Express or Discover Card, and you mention their names a few times because they'll pay you to mention their names. So that's another way to monetize.
Yeah, I have actually thought about that. And I have two producers. One of my producers actually mentioned that the other day. So we're going to probably, I'd say a good timeline for that would be by the end of the year. We'll look into having sponsors and doing stuff like that.
That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't look for it. It's a long day
Yeah,
for me.
sponsors.
So,
But if anybody wants to sponsor me, let me know.
I think that's great. But other people that do educational shows, there's a lot of people on ABC.com, and they all started somewhere. So maybe
Hmm.
reach out to them and get them because they are a little more
Oh,
well known, and ask them, say, I'm just starting out and I want to educate kids. I would love some tips. Would you consider coming on my show? Because you want people that are doing similar things to you because first of all, you can learn from them. We're always learning. I've been in healthcare 40 years and I'm always learning something new every day, right? So, but you can learn different ways of approaching things and watching them. So sometimes watching your competition, I guess you could say, is a nice way to learn and gives you ideas that you can do on yours, even though you're you even if you're doing the same thing, it's going to be very different on the Aunt Nae Nae show, right?
mm,
So, but you know that people that have a lot of views on their channel are being seen a lot, and ABC.com does really well. So
yeah.
that's a good start, looking at places like that so that you can build, your reputation. I do want to tell you though, it takes time. I was lucky I got
Oh,
monetized
I know.
very early. I opened a YouTube channel and I did one video and never again. And then I said, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. And when I went to set it up, I realized that I already had one. I said, oh, this is going to be easier than I
Yeah.
thought. And then I got monetized in a little under a year. But I was doing a lot of shows with other people um I think it's easier because honestly, I'm doing a show now, The Journey Home, about my life, right? And it's a lot easier when you have feedback and someone to talk to than when you're doing a show by
Mhm.
yourself. It's a lot harder just to talk into the camera or find things to do. So it was easier for
Yeah.
me to interview people and have that conversation and that give and take than what I'm finding now. I'm not so excited to show up to do my show, but I'm very excited to meet new people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's some good points and some good ideas. And what was I gonna say? Um, oh yeah, we're gonna try to make the Aunt Nae Nae Show more educational from here on out. We're gonna bring on like teachers and educators and experts in the fields of like science and math and reading and things like that to be guests on the show to teach kids about those kind of subjects.
I think that would be great. I think that they would really love that.
Mhm.
So where can they find you other than on YouTube? Are you on Facebook or
Um,
Instagram? Because you do acting too. Are you still pursuing your acting career?
yeah, I am. I'm working with an agent here in Alabama, and I'm still going to auditions for film, TV, and theater. And what was the other part of that question?
I'm not sure. What you said
Um,
you were in Broadway and off Broadway here in New York. What
oh
was
no, I was never on Broadway. That I don't know. I don't want to claim that I was on Broadway. I was not on Broadway. I was on off Broadway.
okay? So what were some of the shows that you were on?
I used to be a member of a sketch comedy theater company called the Actors Project NYC. We
Okay.
would perform sketch comedy um, every a sketch comedy showcase every few months in front of an audience, live theater.
That's
So,
great.
like, my dream job would be to be a cast member on Saturday Night Live.
You know what? You have the face for it. I think you do. I think you do very well there. Yes, babe, you can leave. My husband, when he walks the dog, he goes behind me. So he's like, "Can I
Oh.
can I leave?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can leave." So but Saturday Night Love, that's pretty cool. Any theater. I did a lot of extra work. I was in a
I
couple of
did
things.
too.
Yeah, I found it to be very fulfilling. When I was very young, I was in something called street theater, and that was educational. That was on peer pressure, drugs, and alcohol and stuff. And that was done in schools. The government paid us to do that in schools and parks, but it was free.
I did something like that where we like children's theater where we toured to different schools. I did something like that too.
Yeah, I found it. I found that it was so exciting to be a part of that. I had a lot of fun, and I met some of the most amazing people that are still friends of mine today. Um,
Hmm.
so so that was exciting. I did that really to stay out of trouble.
No.
So and it works. I didn't get in any trouble. So, but I thought it was really cool. And then I got involved in the extras. So acting is it's very rewarding,
Yeah.
if you pursue it and follow through. So I think that your show, I mean, you're doing pretty well. I saw that you have several hundred subscribers. That's not bad. You've been on
It
the
went up to 231 today.
Yeah, well, I saw 232 when I was there. So,
Oh.
yeah, so you got another subscriber, and then I'll
Mhm.
subscribe when we get off. So, yeah, I got 233.
Oh,
So,
yay.
but that's
Thank
how it
you.
starts. And I sent it to a few of my friends. I said, check her out. So they're gonna go, and if they have little kids, they'll get them
Well,
watching.
thank you.
So that's how it works. You send it to people and say, what do you think of this episode? And they watch, send it to
Yeah.
your friends. Hey, watch this here. That's why I was asking if you have like a Facebook account because
Oh,
you can.
yeah, that was the question. Yeah, I'm on Facebook under the name Megan Claire Murphy. I'm not on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that yet, just Facebook.
So
Or
you might want.
you can comment or message me on my YouTube account.
Okay, well,
Oh,
I'm
the
gonna
name
put
of my
your link.
YouTube account is Megan Claire Murphy 2. The number 2, that's Megan Claire Murphy 2 is the name of my YouTube account.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna post that because this is gonna go on YouTube because I
Okay.
am this is gonna go on YouTube and then I upload it to my channel. Um,
Oh.
yeah, I might even put some of your videos there because the network that I'm on, I'm allowed to take whatever I want off of YouTube,
Hmm.
you
Um,
know?
the video that I would suggest that you share is the one that got over 54,000 views. It's called the Good Morning Song. You can see in the thumbnail I'm wearing like a orange shirt and it says the Good Morning Song
Okay.
on my YouTube channel.
All
You'll
right. Well,
see
I
it
have
because it's the
several
one that's
channels. We'll
got
put it in
tons of
there
views.
as I'm sorry. We'll put it in there to help grow your community a little. I think what you're doing is very rewarding and it's great. We often hear what's wrong in the world, but we don't often hear what's good in the world. And what you're
Mhm.
doing is very good. It's helping your
Oh,
community. It's
that's nice of you to
inspiring
see.
young children. So I think that's a good thing. So I wanted to come on and just really highlight what you're doing. Did you want to say any last words to the audience before we end the show?
Watch the Aunt Nae Nae Show on my YouTube channel, Megan Claire Murphy 2. Oh, and I'll say the thing that I always say at the end of each Aunt Nae Nae episode. You are kind, you are smart, you are important. Thanks, have a great day, bye.
Oh,
Even
that's
though we're
so
not saying
cute.
it, but that's what I always say. We're not saying goodbye yet, though.
That is so great. So, guys, I know you're gonna love watching her show, and if you have any wee ones in the house, this is great to get them involved and stuff like that. I found that it was very educational and very tasteful. So there's a lot of things that kids could be watching that I'm sure we don't want them watching. So
Yeah,
check
I
it out.
definitely try to keep it tasteful and rated G.
Yes, it was definitely rated G. It was funny. I was I was laughing, and so I thought it was really cute. So, guys, I want to thank you for coming in and joining this session with us today. And I hope you have an amazing day. And thanks for watching Megan Claire. And don't forget to watch the Aunt Nae Nae Show. Good night, guys.
Bye.